So good morning. Today we have shear stresses. So we have seen axial stresses. After that shear force bending moment, then bending stress. And today we will go with shear stresses. Now we will consider two adjacent sections AB and CD in a beam separated by a small distance dx as shown in figure A. So we have this beam simply supported loaded with UDL, and we are going to consider dx distance, that is between AC and BD, that is AB section and CD section. Now you can see figure B, which shows bending stresses on these two cross sections, that is on AB we have sigma and on CD we have sigma plus d sigma, that is increase. Why that is increase? So we are considering bending moment at CD is greater than bending moment at AB, and as bending moment at CD is greater, so automatically my value of sigma is greater. So now that is mentioned over here. Just I told you, assuming M and M plus dm bending moments at AB and CD respectively as shown in figure. Now consider area dA. So we are going to consider area dA at a distance y. That distance y is still centroid of dA at distance y from the neutral axis as shown in figure. So we have considered now dx portion. We have m moment left side, m plus dm right side. Area we have dA, its distance from centroid to the neutral axis is y, and w we have load on this beam. So now we have bending stress at section AB and CD. That also we have shown, that is sigma is bending stress at AB and sigma plus d sigma, that is bending moment at bending stress at CD. So we have at AB sigma is equal to m by I into y, and at CD we have sigma plus d sigma equal to m plus dm upon I into y, which is at section CD. Now net bending stress, so that is CD minus AB. So we have sigma plus d sigma minus sigma. So that is left hand side. So what will be right hand side? M plus dm minus m upon I into y. And that will gives me d sigma equal to dm upon I into y. So that m gets cancelled, sigma gets cancelled, and we have d sigma equal to dm upon I into y. Keep in mind, y is the distance of centroid of the area from neutral axis. So now what is force? So we know force is stress into area. So let us, we will consider from y1 to y max, that is df, small force for that area dA, and stress is d sigma. So my df is d sigma into dA. Now we know value of d sigma is dm upon I into y dA, which is given in last step. So now this is my equation 1. Now if we will solve this, then I will get df is equal to dm upon I into ay bar. Now why ay bar? So try to understand this. Dm by I is not related with your dA. So we have taken it outside, which is constant with respect to y. Now y into dA, which is my first moment of area. Second moment of area is moment of inertia. And first moment of area we are going to find out centroid. So y dA gives me value of ay bar. So we have this as ay bar. So we have df equal to dm upon I into ay bar. Now from figure we have df is equal to tau b into dx. Now tau is shear stress which is along horizontal direction, and therefore my total force, that is tau, width is b and length is dx. B is perpendicular to the span. Try to understand this. B is perpendicular to the span, dx is length, and shear stress acting on this is tau. So by shear stress, I will get force dF equal to tau into B dx. B dx is area and tau is average shear stress on area. Dx and width is B. Now you can see over here that is clearly shown. This is dx and B you can see that is another figure which is cross section that is perpendicular to this section. Perpendicular to AB, perpendicular to CD. Now from equation 1 and 2, in 1 also we have df, in 2 also we have df. Now if we will equate this, because left hand side is same, so we have right hand side should be same, and if you equate it, then you have df is equal to tau b dx, which is second equation, equal to dm upon I into ay bar, which is first equation. And now if I rearrange the terms, then you can see we will get tau is equal to dm by dx ay bar upon ib. So whatever term we have on left side, we have taken that term on right side. So you can see over here, so we have taken this b dx, that is on right side, and we have then left side only tau, and then we will get this as tau is equal to dm by dx ay bar upon ib. But what is dm by dx? Rate of change of bending moment is shear force, and we will get this value of tau, which is equal to VAY bar upon IB. So this is my shear stress formula. Now let us compare bending stress and shear stress. Now if I will first say formula, so we have for bending stress sigma is equal to m by I into y, and for tau I have VAY bar upon IB. First comparison. Second, polynomial function. We have sigma equal to m by I into y. M by I is constant, so sigma is proportional to y. So my polynomial function in bending stress is 1. That is linear line. Now what will happen in tau? Tau is VAY bar. Now A contains y term because A equal to B into y. So V by IB is constant and A is B into y. So from this we have tau directly proportional to y bar, that is vertical distance, and therefore tau proportional to y square. And as tau is proportional to y square, means we have polynomial function as 2. So try to understand comparison. So first we have formula, second polynomial function for bending stress, linear line, polynomial function for shear stress, we have parabola. So we have these comparisons. Now if you will see third, in case of bending stress, we have maximum values at outermost fiber. Maximum values are at outermost fiber because sigma is equal to m by I into y, and y is the distance of the fiber from neutral axis. So at neutral axis y is 0. So my bending stress is 0 at neutral axis, and bending stress is maximum at outermost fiber. Whereas if you will go to tau, tau is VAY bar upon IB. AY bar is the moment of area above the section or above the fiber where we have to find out shear stress. Therefore, if I will take top fiber or bottom fiber, then top fiber we do not have any area above top fiber, and as we do not have any area above top fiber, so my value of A at top fiber is 0, and therefore AY bar is 0 at top fiber. Now if I have to find out shear stress below the neutral axis, then I have to take the area below that axis. So now if I will consider bottommost fiber, so below bottommost fiber we do not have any area, so A is 0. So I have at bottommost fiber A 0, therefore AY by 0 and tau is 0. So we have at topmost and bottommost fiber tau is 0, and at neutral axis we have shear stress maximum, because AY bar we have whole area above neutral axis which will be maximum, and therefore my tau is maximum at neutral axis and is 0 at top and bottom. So we have these comparisons, 4 points. First formula, second polynomial function bending stress 1, shear stress 2. Then we have maximum values for bending stress 0 at neutral axis, maximum at top and maximum at bottom, 1 in compression, 1 in tension, and shear stress we have top 0, bottom 0 and maximum at neutral axis. So we have this comparison which is most important, because when you will go for MCQs then you may come across question on this. Now we will go with first problem. Determine the ratio of maximum shear stress to average shear stress, and cross section is given BD. What is average shear stress? That is shear force V divided by area. So now we are considering shear force is not given, so we have to assume. Now BD we have given the cross section. Now we have this as neutral axis, and as we have to find out maximum shear stress, we have to find at neutral axis, and therefore we have to consider area above neutral axis, whatever area we have, which will gives me value of tau max. Now centroid of this area which we are going to consider above neutral axis is d by 4, because area above neutral axis I have d by 2 depth, and its centroid automatically becomes at d by 4. So now we will substitute value. Tau is equal to VA y bar upon IB. Now what will be AY bar? So try to understand. A is B into D by 2. So area above neutral axis. And area above neutral axis we have B into D by 2. Now what is centroid of this area from neutral axis is D by 4. So you can see my area is B into D by 2 into D by 4. So my AY bar value is BD square by 8. Now what is I for rectangular section, that we know, which is pi BD cube by 12. And now we have substituted this value. Tau max is equal to, we have assumed value of shear force V. AY bar we have BD square by 8. I we have BD cube by 12, and B is B. And if you solve this, I will get value of tau max equal to 3V upon 2BD. And now if we will go to tau average, I already mentioned that tau average is shear force upon area, that is B into D. And if we will go ratio of this, that is tau max by tau average, then we will get tau max by tau average equal to, tau max we have 3V upon 2BD, and tau average is V by BD, gives me 1.5. So for rectangular section, tau max by tau average is 1.5. Now we will switch over to the second problem. Now second problem we have draw, actually that is shear stress distribution, not bending stress. So shear stress distribution diagram for a rectangular beam with width 250 millimeter and depth 500 millimeter as shown in figure. Shear force at this section is 100 kilonewton. Now you can see this diagram is given. So we have given this as 250 will be distance from neutral axis. Overall depth is given as 500 millimeters. So above neutral axis we have 250 millimeter. Now we have to use formula tau is equal to VA y bar upon IB. Now our width is constant everywhere. So when my width is constant every section or every layer, then I have to find out shear stress at top, shear stress at bottom, and shear stress at neutral axis. Now we know shear stress at top is 0, shear stress at bottom is 0. So we have to find only at neutral axis. So we have to find area, that is AY bar. Now AY bar So we have to consider which area. So this area which I have shaded, which having depth 250 millimeter and width is given as 250 millimeters. Shear force is given, that is actually 100 kilonewton. Now if we will see y bar, we have 125 millimeter of this area. Now if we will go for AY bar, so we have 250 into 250 into 125, which will gives me 7.81 into 10 raised to 6 millimeter cube. Now I know AY bar, I know V, so I will put value in tau. So I will get tau is equal to I we have calculated. So if we will substitute value in equation of tau, which is 100 into 10 raised to 3, because shear force is given 100 into 7.81 into 10 raised to 6, which is AY bar. I is 2.6 into 10 raised to 9, and B we have 250, gives me tau max equal to 1.2 Newton per mm square, which is at neutral axis. And you can see this diagram, that is of shear stress at neutral axis, we have 1.2 Newton per mm square. So we have shear stress distribution diagram as parabola. This is second problem. So we have, now we will switch over to the third problem. Now in third problem, we have show that the shearing stress developed at the neutral axis of a beam with circular section is tau is equal to 4 by 3 V upon pi r square. Assume that the shear stress is uniformly distributed across the neutral axis. So we have considered this D as diameter and R is the radius of this circle. Now we have neutral axis, that is at center. Now tau, we have to find out shear stress. So we have tau is equal to VA y bar upon IB. Now area, we have half semicircle which is above neutral axis. So above neutral axis, what is my area? Area is 1/2 pi by 4 into d square. Because whole circle we have pi by 4 d square. So we have above neutral axis, which will be half into pi by 4 d square. And where is my centroid? And my centroid is at 4r upon 3 pi. So if I will write in terms of d, that will be 2d upon 3 pi. And from this I am in position to find out value of AY bar, that is half into pi by 4 into d square, which is area of semicircle, into 2d by 3 pi, which is y bar, and which will use me d cube by 12. Now we know I is pi by 64 d to the power 4, and if we will substitute these values in tau, then you can see V into AY bar is d cube by 12, I is pi by 64 d4 into B. So at neutral axis, what is width? Width is d. So we have into d, and that gives me 16 V upon 3 pi d square. Now we have to find in terms of r. So I know d equal to 2r. So I have substituted d square equal to 4r square. And now if you simplify this, by simplifying, I will get this value equal to 4v upon 3 pi square, that is 4 by 3 into v upon pi r square. So for circle, you have to keep in mind your y bar value, that is upon 3 pi from neutral axis. Now if we will go to the shear stress distribution diagram, so we have shear stress distribution diagram is parabola. I am repeating so many times, so you have to keep in mind, फिक्स झालं पाहिजे डोक्यामध्ये की फॉर्म आपला कर्व पॅराबोला आहे. Now you go to the fourth. Now a timber beam 80 mm wide, 160 mm high is subjected to vertical shear 40 kilonewton. Determine the shearing stress developed at layer 20 mm apart from the top to bottom of the section. See, we have section given. Depth is 160, width is 80, neutral axis at 80. Formula we have tau equal to VA y bar upon IB. V is given 40 into 10 raised to 3 newtons. Now see which portion 20 millimeter from top towards bottom. So this area which we have shaded. Now AY bar, we know AY bar is the moment of area above that fiber to the neutral axis. So what will be area? We have width 80, depth 20. What is neutral distance of centroid of this area from neutral axis? So we have 20, centroid of this is 10 from top. So from neutral axis it will go to 70 millimeters. And now if I will find AY bar, so 20 into 80 into 70 gives me AY bar, which will be 112 into 10 raised to 3 millimeter cube. And I we know we have BD cube by 12, and that will give 27.31 into 10 raised to 6. And now substitute values of V 40 into 10 raised to 3, AY bar 112 into 10 raised to 3, I 27.31 into 10 raised to 6, and B 80 gives me tau equal to 2.05 Newton per mm square. This value is at distance 20 millimeter from top. So whenever you have to find out somewhere in between, then you have to consider area above this, provided your or section is above neutral axis. If that is below neutral axis, then I have to consider area below it, not above it, because moment we are going to take about neutral axis. So we have, this is fourth problem. Now fifth. Now we have fifth, sixth, seventh, and then eighth. So now fifth we have IES, and seventh, eighth again we have IES problems. So this was asked in 2018 for 20 marks. Now this I section is given. Top flange is 60 by 20. Bottom flange is 120 by 20. Web is 150 by 20. So these dimensions are given, and draw the sketch for shear stress variation across the depth of the cross section located at a distance 3 meter from left end. Now what is given? I section is simply supported over a span of 8 meter. It carries UDL 20 kilonewton per meter over the entire span. Now first we have to find Y bar for this, because without neutral axis we cannot go ahead. And we have 60 into 20 into 10. Y bar we are taking from top, plus 150 into 20 into 75 plus 20, plus bottom 120 into 20 in bracket 10 plus 170, divided by, we have these areas 60 into 20 plus 150 into 20 plus 120 into 20, and that will give me 110.45 millimeters, which is my value of Y bar. Now I have calculated I is BD cube by 12 plus A into H square. So for first flange, that is top flange, B is 60 into 20 cube by 12, A into H square. A is 60 into 20, H. Distance of centroid of top flange to the neutral axis. So you can subtract A1, Y1. So whatever Y1 you have, you can subtract from Y bar. So Y1 we have 10. If you will see in Y bar, so for top flange we have 60 into 20 into 10. So you have to subtract 10 from Y bar. So we have 110.45 minus 10 whole square. Similarly for web, 20 into 150 cube by 12 plus area of web 20 into 150 into, now Y2 we have 75 plus 20, you can see y bar. So 95. So we can have 110.45 minus 95, again whole square, and then plus we have bottom flange 120 into 20 cube by 12 plus 120 into 20 into 180 minus. Now we have y3, 10 plus 170. So that is 180 minus 110.45 square, and that will gives me value of I, that is I equal to 30.17 into 10 raised to 6 millimeter to the power 4. Now we have to plot shear stress distribution. So tau formula we have VA y bar upon IB. So we have y bar that is at 110.45. Now V is 20 kilonewtons. Now why? So now if you remember what is given, so we have given a beam. So UDL, so you can see over here, simply supported over a span 8 meter, it carries 20 kilonewton per meter. So what will be my reactions? So we have reactions as 80 because total load is 20 into 8, 160, half of 80. Now we have to find at 3 meter from left. So 3 meter from left. So what will be shear force? RA minus W into 3. RA is 80, W is 20. So 80 minus 20 into 3. So 80 minus 60, that is 20 kilonewtons. So I have taken directly V equal to 20 kilonewton. Now we are well known with shear force and bending moment. So I will not draw diagram and show it shear force and all this. Now you can see one by one step. Now tau we have V is 20 into 10 raised to 3 into AY bar upon 30.17 into 10 raised to 6, which is I, into B. Now we will go one by one. So section 1.1. Now you can see table section 1.1. AY bar 0 because we do not have area above 1.1. So AY bar 0. So automatically though value of B is 60, tau becomes 0. Now go to section 2.2. Now we have to consider area above 2.2. Now what is area above 2.2? Now you can see that shaded area. So we have that shaded area. How much? You can see now table 60 into 20. Now we have to take distance of centroid from neutral axis. So neutral axis is at 110.45. So minus 10. So 100.45. And that will gives me AY bar as 120540. B is, we have two values. Just above 2.2 we have value as 60 of B, and just below 2.2 we have value of tau B as 20. Now you put this value AY bar and B in tau, you will get just above the section 2.2 tau value you will get 1.33 Newton per mm square, and just below you will get 3.995, because whatever ratio you have of width, and that will be your ratio of tau. Now next we have to find at neutral axis, because we have to find where our width changes. So width is changing at section 2.2, so I will get two values because there is abrupt change in width of the section. Now neutral axis. Now we have to consider area above neutral axis. So area above neutral axis we have that already we have 60 into 20. Now added is 100.45 minus 20, that is 90.45, because already flange we have taken 60 into 20 into 100.45. Now we have to add plus 90.45, which is of web now, into 20 width, and centroid we have y bar half of that web depth, that is 90.45 by 2, and that will gives me value of A bar, that is shown in table. B here I have 20. Tau 33, that is at neutral axis, which is maximum value 6.708 Newton per mm square. Now at 4 4. So when I have to 5 5, so 5 5 we have 0 because below 5 5 we do not have any value. Now we have 4 4. So which area we have to consider? Below 4 4. We have this area below 4 4. And then we have this area as 120 into 20 into distance of centroid of this area from neutral axis. And that value we have, that is 69.55 millimeters, and I will get AY bar 166920, and tau 44 we will get 5.532, and tau, that is just above and just below, 0.922, and at 5 5 we have already seen 0, and then we have to plot it. Now plot it. So we have 0 at top, 0 at bottom, 1 1 and 2 2. Now we have at 2 2 2 values. First value I have 1.3833 Newton per mm square. At the same 2 2 we have another value which is 3.995 Newton per mm square. Now I have maximum value at neutral axis which is 6.708 Newton per mm square. Then I have at 4 4 2 values. First value, that is just above, that is 4 4, is 5.532 Newton per mm square. Then we have just below, this value is 0.922 Newton per mm square. And then we have this value at 0 at 5 5. So we have this as shear stress diagram, which is always parabola. So this was asked for 20 marks in IES 2018. So if we will see the portion we have covered, so you have IES question 35 to 40 marks from the portion we have covered till. Now we will go to the next problem. So we will go little bit now fast because now you are familiar. So we have given this T section. Now I will not go in detail with I. So we have given P load, let us at free end, then I will get shear force P and bending moment PL. Now steps are same. We have to calculate Y bar. We have to calculate Y bar from top, Y bar from bottom, I, and then we have I. Now here you have to see in the problem, three conditions are given. Annual bending stress we have 90 MPa, that is in tension, 140 MPa in compression, and shear stress we have 15 MPa. So out of this, whatever minimum value we will get of P, that value we have to consider as maximum load. Minimum value gives us maximum load, because if we will consider maximum, then that will not satisfy minimum. Now you can go to this. Sigma by y is equal to m by I. Tension is at top. Y is 50 millimeter. Because we have cantilever, and in cantilever we have top tension, bottom compression, and sigma is 90. Now if we will put these values, m we have from this 90 by 50, sigma by y is equal to m by I. We will get value of m as 42.64. Now we will go to the second part, compression. We have y 125, sigma 140, and then if we will solve this, now we have y 125 because we have bottom. Now bottom we have compression. Another value I will get it as m, I will get as 26.53 kilonewton meter. So moment we have to consider maximum moment. And for this maximum moment, I will get value of P, which will be 35.53 kilonewtons. Now we will go to the second part. Second part, we have tau VA y bar upon IB. Now we have to take AY bar. So now AY bar, I have shown the portion which is dotted. So you will substitute value of AY bar. AY bar you will get. Now substitute values. and then you will get value of P, which is 45.48 into 10 raised to 3 Newton. Now in first, we have value as 35.53, and we have to take that value, which will be my load, and that will gives me value of P 35.53 kilonewtons. Now we will go to the next. This was asked in IS 2019. A water main of 1200 mm. This was asked for 12 marks. Now you can see internal diameter. Sorry, 1200 millimeter internal diameter, 12 millimeter thickness. So external diameter I have 1224. Bending stress is given 56. Steel unit weight is 76.8 kilonewton per meter cube, and 10 kilonewton per meter cube we have weight of water. And then if we will solve this, so we have to use simply formula, that is sigma by I is equal to sigma by y is equal to m by I. Now we have to find out total weight, which will be my load acting on the simply supported beam. So we have weight of steel and we have weight of water. Now weight of steel, how we will find? We know unit weight of steel, and then we know area of steel. So what is area of steel? That is area of pipe, pi by 4 d outer square minus d inner square, and that will gives me area of pipe. Knowing area of pipe, I can find weight of pipe. That will gives me in kilonewton per meter. That is rho s into as, 76.8 into 0.057. Then weight of water, kilonewton per meter. Unit weight of water into area of pipe, because through that pipe your water is flowing, and that will gives me 11.31 kilonewton per meter. So total load we will get 14.82 kilonewton per meter. So we have total load, now we know 14.82 kilonewton per meter. Sigma, now we have to convert in kilonewton per meter square. We have all values in kilonewton and meter, so prefer convert sigma only. So we need not require to convert all in Newton and millimeters. So which becomes easy. This is IS point of view that you have to consider. So now we have Newton kilonewton 10 raised to minus 3, and millimeter square meter square 10 raised to minus 6. So we have 10 raised to minus 3 numerator, 10 raised to minus 6 denominator. So it goes 10 raised to 3, that is numerator. And substitute these values. So substituting this value, I pi by 64, that is d4 minus d4, that is d outer 4 minus d inner 4. And from this I will get 8.391 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter 4. If I will substitute these values in this equation, then I will get m 7.80 kilonewton meter. And if I will substitute m is WL square by 8, because that is simply supported, gives me value of L, that is 20.36 meter. So this was asked in 2019. Now we have last problem, which is of shear force, which was asked in IS 2017. Now see, a girder and floor beam construction subjected to concentrated load as shown in figure. Draw free body diagrams and determine support reaction. I need not require any calculation for it. Now I will consider a free body diagram first of A, B, C. So I have reaction at A, I have reaction at B, and I have load 20 kilonewton. If I will take moment about A0, then I will get value of RB. So that value I will get 20 into 6, 120 divided by 4, 30 kilonewton upward. So if you apply Fy0, then you will get RA 10 kilonewton but in downward direction. Now go to C dash D F G. Now you take moment about D0. So you will have 10 into 6 divided by 4 will get 15 kilonewton. Apply Fy0, you will get 5 kilonewton downward. Now whichever reaction is downward, that will acts upward in floor girder, that is AEH. AEH, on this whatever reaction downward will act as upward, whatever is upward will act as downward, because when we will remove support A we have downward. So on floor beam, it is upward, because when we will connect these two, then we do not have any reaction. And then if we will put it 10 kilonewton, 30 kilonewton, now you can see RB 30 upward, so here downward. So if you remember frames, when we will remove the joints, we have equal and opposite reactions. So we have 5 kilonewton, which is D, RD, downward. So here upward. 15 kilonewton we have at F, upward. So here we have downward. And then if you will take moment about A0 of all loads, then you will get a reaction at E equal to 26 kilonewton. Apply summation Fy0, you will get Ra as 4 kilonewtons. So we have in this problems that are from, we have problems from IES